This MMA 30 segment is powered by The Gun Store. Next time you're in Las Vegas, if you want to shoot a real machine gun, do it at The Gun Store at 2900 East Tropicana.
Envision a way that this guy would make it to the finals. Obviously, he came from the outside looking in when this thing started. When you were looking at the bracket, did you ever think you might have to face him in the finals?
You know what? I didn't even really pay attention to the bracket one other than who was right in front of me. And the thing is about fighting is, I mean, you could try to meander your way and pick your opponents to such a finite degree, but what's the point? You got to fight them all eventually. And why don't you want to fight the people that are being successful when they're on top? I mean, that's when you're going to get the best matches. That's when people are going to be most interested. And even still with a tournament, like they always say, and it's cliche, but anything can happen. And to go beyond what's in front of you is just asking to overlook, you know, the punch is going to come right in your face. Daniel, we were chugging along down the road, and all of a sudden he jumped out of the bushes. It's like, hey, what's up? And I'm like,
with a scream mask on. Hey, I'm here, boys. I've arrived. Right? Okay, let me crash.
We all had to fight there, though. Someone tried to say to me, "Oh, didn't that upset you that he didn't? You know, he got." I go, "No, he fought every single time that we fought too. Essentially, you know, even if it was a prelim fight, he was out. He was still fighting. So he earned his spot there, and he went in and fought Bigfoot and knocked him out. I don't really see any reason why anybody should take any kind of offense or slight at Daniel being in the finals. He earned it."
Well, it's exciting for me, obviously. There really hasn't been any disappointment. You know, I fought last January against Devin Cole, which was like my opponents have gotten tougher gradually. And then I fought Jeff when these guys fought in Dallas, and fought Bigfoot. So, I mean, I've had success, and there hasn't been any disappointment. You know, I've only been given an opportunity to really elevate my status in MMA, you know, and elevate myself to a point where I'm fighting the best guys in the world. And as I've said from the very beginning, that is my ultimate goal. You know, I started to get high-level competition, and that's what I'm used to from wrestling. And I got given the opportunity, I took advantage of it, and now I'm fighting a guy that's been at the top of the sport for a long time. So
who's that?
Exactly why I started is what I'm getting right now, you know. So it's a good time for me. I'm happy.
Well, when you get done fighting that dude, like, tell me, because I want to avoid him.
Hey, Josh,
so I have to take care of myself. My destiny is in my hands, you know. And if you don't look at it like that, man, you're truly cheating yourself. So no, I don't pay attention to that. And if people believe that I'm in over my head or I don't deserve to be here, well, tell me why not. I've had only success so far. I haven't lost. I haven't went in there and just put on a total, you know, boring fight. And as my opponents have gotten tougher, I've gotten better. So there's no reason to believe that I don't belong in this position.
When you started this tournament as an alternate basis, did you ever think that this was a possibility, or were you just, hey, I'm going to fight, I'm staying busy, I'm just, you know, getting experience or what have you?
Well, I mean, I was on the outside. You know, I didn't. To me, this tournament was so big, I never thought for a second that any one person would give up their chance to win it. So I was like, it doesn't matter. Through injury, anything. If you have a chance to go forward, these guys are going to go forward. So being an alternate really doesn't matter because it's just too big to actually pull out of. And then when Overeem did pull out, and they said, Daniel, you know, you're going in because Del Rosario had gotten hurt when we were supposed to fight each other. Daniel, you're probably going to have to fight Bigfoot Silva. I go, okay, that's fine. They go, are you nervous? You know, people ask me, are you nervous? No, not so much. It's just competition to me. I've competed my whole life. I mean, and I enjoy it. I enjoy competition. I mean, I just enjoy it. I mean, I watched it as a fan in the beginning. You know, I was a fan. I was like, oh my God, these dudes are going to have to scrap, and the winner of this thing is going to be, you know, way up there in the rankings. And now it's just a chance for me to do that. That's how I see it.
Well, when I was in Pride at the time, that was the best heavyweight division in the world. I don't care what anybody says. We had the best guys. We were the toughest. And I don't believe that the guys in UFC at the time could have hacked it where we were at. It was, and plus our rule set where, you know, you're soccer kicking and stomping a guy's head and throwing knees to a grounded opponent. It was a fast, dynamic game. and things could end quickly. We were top of the heap. Why would I leave? Plus, at the time, when I got over there and I was coaching Bob Sapp, we were walking out in front of 93,000 people. We haven't done anything like that over here yet. I was doing pro wrestling matches in front of 50,000, main eventing, doing TV shows, doing this, doing that. I mean, there was no reason to leave Pride. It was everything that you could have wanted, and it had the infrastructure outside of MMA that we now possess here. It's taken up to this point to where you could do the outside world would recognize what you were doing within the cage, and Japan was far ahead of that. Nowadays, Daniel and I, we can, we have the opportunity to go to do different stuff, or you watch someone in a commercial for something completely non-MMA related, or doing press with non-MMA press and getting into the mainstream media and pop culture. That was not here, even when Pride was going strong and UFC was active. It just wasn't there yet. So Pride was the place to be. Guys like Fyodor, myself, Mirko, Nogueira, some of those guys I believe were in their primes also in that point in their career. So it was a great heyday. And if you'd never been to a Pride show, sorry, that shit's over. So you missed something really cool.
My sole focus is right here. It has to be, because if it isn't, I'm cheating myself. I told myself when I stopped wrestling that I'm not gonna make the mistakes that always cost me in wrestling, where I would give away matches. I'm not gonna give away fights. I'm gonna put myself in the best situation to win a fight. And by thinking about fighting whoever's the UFC champion in the future, it only sets yourself up for failure. So my focus is solely on Josh. It has to be. I'm
really attractive and interesting, so that's another reason. Can't stop thinking about me.
You're right, I can't.
Who cares? Who cares? I have, just like Daniel says, I have one fight in front of me. Anything is possible, sure. I mean, we could all meet up at Starcade in the Omni at some point. But I don't, until that day happens and that piece of paper is in front of you and you get the chance to sign it and you know it's going to happen, it doesn't exist. It's about as believable as, I don't know, I was about to say something probably controversial, but at any rate, you got to train for the fight that's in front of you, and let the fans speculate until they get a nosebleed.
And style fights, man. Make style fights too. You got to think about how you match up with a person.
Like this style, you see, I've got dark denim and some straight up high top chucks, nice leather jacket and little button down shirt, and Daniel's got. I will give him props on those Pumas. Those are some really nice shoes. I do like those. But shorts and a t-shirt. So
okay, that's only because I forgot my jeans. I forgot
he
my
is
jeans.
always telling me how. Okay, so I was gonna show up, and then all of a sudden somebody said something, and then
wait till tomorrow night at the fight. I'll be looking like Rashad Evans. Yeah, you know how that is. I'll be looking like Rashad Evans, and you know how that is.
All right. I know how Rashad looks. You gonna have a bow tie and all that?
I'm gonna look great, very dapper and distinguished.
Very dapper.
Yes. Cross my legs back.
Andre 3000 up in here, and UFC is the biggest stage. Everybody knows that. Although May 19th, we're gonna shine real bright.
Yeah,
I promise you that.
We'll give you guys a good show.
Yeah, people are gonna start going, oh wow. I gotta see more of that.
All they're gonna do is say, "Let's get these guys over to the UFC."
Well, yeah.
They won't say, "Let them fight in Strikeforce anymore." Well, it's time. You guys are ready now. You can go to the UFC. Oh, really? I wasn't ready before. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I've never been there.
On that, and listen, he's right. We're not confused at UFC about these guys at all, as we weren't about WC. We knew when they went in the lightweight guys and the guys in WC were going to be able to compete at the highest level, and they have. And these guys are the same. So